Hey there, today we're going to look at a function called Weekday in Excel. Now what exactly does Weekday do? Let's read the syntax. So it returns a number from 1 to 7 identifying the day of the week of the date. So if we had today, for example, we see that today's serial number is 2. Now 2 by default is a Monday because by default it runs Sunday to Saturday, where Sunday is 1, Saturday is 7. So Monday 2, Tuesday is 3, etc. So I'm just going to show you a few cool things that you can do with it, like answer some of these questions, like the last Friday of the month, what date is it? What date is the first Sunday of the month? What date is the third Wednesday of the month? And we're going to use a help column as well down here and fill out this table. So basically this table says what date is the first Sunday, what date is the third Tuesday, what date would the third Friday be, etc. So we'll fill that out towards the end. So let's put for the year 2020. For the month, we're going to put March. I'm going to show you something quickly with putting the month, because we want the month to make sense. I'm going to make a list of months just by filling in January and dragging it down. I'm going to call this month list. I'm going to go to the month here, data validation, go to list, equals month list. So now you can see on the drop down I've only got the months, so that's good. So it now validates what we put in. So if I try to put something else, it's not going to let us. I can customize that message if I want to, but I'm not going to right now. So we're sticking with March. So what's the first day of March? Well, we're going to put equals date, year's 2020. The month is the month trick that I've shown in previous tutorials, so that's nice and easy. The day is 1 because we want the first day. For the last day, we're going to use year month on the first day, 0 month translation. And now that formats to a number by general, so we're just going to format paint that, so that's not a problem. So we've got the first day, we've got the last day. So now we're set up ready to answer some of these questions. So what is the last Friday of the month? So the way we can do this is we can say, okay, well, we've got the last day here, so D4. We're going to subtract, and now we're going to use the weekday function because that's a serial number, remember? So if we pick up D4 again, and the return type now, because we want the last Friday of the month, let's go for 16, because even though it starts numbers 1 is Saturday, we want it through to 7, which is the Friday. We're going to be subtracting through to that Friday. So we're going to do that and see what we get. We get the 27th of March. How do we know that this is a Friday? There's a function called text, which we're going to use to verify this. We're going to put it in DDD format, which means day, 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 and that will come up with a 3-letter code for what day it is, so that's 3 days. Put in another D, it's going to say Friday. But we're going to keep it as 3 just because it's the same output, really. So that's cool. The last Friday of March 2020 is on the 27th. That's nice that we've found that out. So now, how do you find the first Sunday of the month? Well, again, we're going to use something similar here. We're going to go for equals the first day minus weekday of the first day. And now the return type here is going to be this numbers 1 Monday through Sunday that we looked at. So if we do this, and if we hit equals here, you'll see that it goes back into February. We don't want it going back into February. And I'm just going to drag this down just to double check. So yeah, it's a Sunday, but why is it in February? It's because when you take away that, you're actually going to the last Sunday of the month. Because we want the first Sunday of the next month, we're just going to add 7 because there's 7 days in a week. So now we've got the 1st of March 2020 is our first Sunday of the month, which is true. So now if we want the third Wednesday of the month, we're going to again use the first day. Going to minus the weekday of that first day. Now the return type, we want numbers 1 Thursday through 7. So yeah, number 14, option 14. So if we do this, we're going to get the last Wednesday in February. So we just need to add 21. And this should be a Wednesday. So there, we've answered the questions. So that's pretty cool. We're adding 21 again, like I say, because 21 is 3 weeks. So if we want the third Wednesday, we need to add 3 weeks from the last Wednesday of the previous month. Okay, so down here, I'm going to fill out this helper just by doing exactly what we did to get the first day, basically. I just like to have it here. So I'm going to do this trick here, do this here. There we go, we've got the 1st of March 2020. Now, if we change this, it's going to change accordingly. So I'll change it to April. Let's do May, actually. So 1st of May 2020, that's our helper. Okay, so we want the first Sunday of the month. So again, we're going to use weekday function. We're going to take this serial number. Oh no, sorry, we're going to do this day minus the weekday of this. And because we want Sunday, we're actually going to start with 11 because that's Monday through to Sunday, and you want to always end on through to Sunday, the day you want. So if we do this, we're going to get the last Sunday of the previous month. So again, we just add 7, and we get 3. I've already formatted this actually as, let me format this as date so you guys can just see. Just bear with, and I think I formatted the whole thing before, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got the 3rd of May 2020 is a Sunday. Let's just double check this down here. So if we do a text on this, day format, we can see it's a Sunday. Cool, so we've done it. So what happens if we drag this down? Well, first of all, I haven't locked in G11, so that's a bad start. Let's lock in that, because that's our helper. Okay, cool. So we've locked it in now. So if we drag this down, what's going to happen? Well, nothing, because we haven't changed. It's very static right now. So we don't want to add 7 this time. We want to add 14, because it's the second one. So what we can do is actually do 7 times by this number here. And now I'm going to lock in the column, because I want to drag this across eventually. But I want the row to be relative. I want that to change as I drag it down. So now if I drag this down, you see we've got the 3rd of May, 10th, 17th, 24th, and the 31st of May, so it seems to have worked. So now, what if I drag this across then? What's going to happen? We still got the 3rd. We don't want the 3rd. Now the way we can change this is by changing this 11 parameter here. So, because we can see we're going through the days in order from 11 to 17, we can do something quite smart here. Now, what I'm going to do is 10 plus columns, and then I'm going to span column I fixed, and this is going to be to column just J on its own. So if I do this, it gives us the 4th. Now I'm going to copy this because this formula looks to be good all the way. Let's take this down. So we've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it looks to have worked, right? So now we've got our dates. It looks a bit messy, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to Control 1, or if you go to, I actually forgot, Format Cells. I think it's in the Home tab somewhere. It's somewhere. But yeah, Control 1 when you highlighted your selection. I can't actually remember where it is. It's pretty bad. I just know the shortcuts to everything. If you go down to Custom, now if we take all this out, apart from 1D, we're just saying day. If we put 2, you see it prefixes a 0, but we just want 1. Make it nice and tidy. And then I've already centralized it, but you can move that around here. Okay, cool. I'm going to centralize these as well, just so it's nice and tidy. So down here we can get rid of these, we don't need these anymore. We see we've got the days. Cool. But we've got some overlap here. It's going on to the next month. So this is like the 1st of June. We don't want that. So what I can say is, obviously the latest day in the month that a certain day can be is 7 for the first day, right? So if you look on the top row, the biggest number is 7 basically. So that number going down to the 4th row is 28. There's always 28 days in a month, right? So the 4th row is good. So these top 4 rows are always going to be absolutely fine. This bottom row, however, can overlap, as you can see here. So if you highlight all these values, these 7 values, you go to Conditional Formatting, you go to New Rule, use a formula to determine which cells to format. Now if we're going to do an equals month formula, so that when this is true, we're going to add a specific format. So when the month of our helper column, and make sure that's fixed in, it should do it automatically, is not equal, so less than greater than, is not equal to the month of, and then we start here on the Sunday, the leftmost one, but we want to take out the absolute reference, right? So we want I to change. So we take that out, we've got $16 in this case. So we close that, we're going to format a little bit. We're going to add a nice barcode fill so it looks grayed out, and we're going to go to Custom on the Number tab. Going to get rid of General, I'm going to put 3 semicolons. Now if I OK this and OK this, you can see that it's grayed out where the days overlap into June. So now if I change this to April, you see it does it automatically. So I'm going through all the months now, and you can see that it's just changing it dynamically, which is really nice. So now, last thing we're going to do is do a quick reconcile down here of how many days are in the given month, or how many of the same day are there. So for example, there's 4 Sundays in December 2020. But if I do a count like this, it's not going to work. It's actually going to give us that stupid format. Let's try it here. So if we do a count here, it gives us 5. Now if I copy this across, yeah, it's just graying it out. That's a bit annoying actually. So I'm going to edit the rule range. I don't want it dragging down. Yeah, there we go. So now what we can do instead of this is we can apply a sum product instead. So I'm going to do sum product, do the unary operator, and then go into the first one. I'm going to take the month of all these serial numbers in the first column, and I'm going to say it's got to be equal to the month of the helper. And then I want to lock the helper in as I drag this across. So now if I do that, close the array, we get 4, and that seems to be right. So if I drag this across, hopefully, if I have done it right, we should get the right answers. So I'm going to get rid of these now. So yeah, as you can see, we've got 4 Sundays, 4 Mondays, 5 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and then 4 Friday and Saturdays. So that's cool. We've identified how many days there are. So how many Sundays there are, how many Mondays, etc. And as I say, this is all dynamic, so that's very nice. We've worked out how to make sort of a calendar, if you will. So I could even change the year to 2021 and it wouldn't be a problem. So if we go to Feb 2021, we've actually got 4 days of each in February 2021, so that's quite cool. So yeah, there you go. That is the weekday function tutorial. Thank you guys for watching.